Let's go.
Okay. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. What's up, everybody?
Tiny mic, baby.
Okay, now I need to hold my mic. I'm like sad that I don't get to hold a microphone while we do this. What's going on, everybody? We're back for Unite Mike's Mayhem. Deuce Next microphone hates existing, so now we have the tiny mic. Chat, please give some energy for the tiny mic. It's absolutely lit. And Deuce Next, please, will you start the coin flip? Let's have everyone explode now, be heads, and orange juicers be tails.
Okay, give me. It is drum roll. It is tails.
Tails. Okay, orange juicers have choice of side. Gamma, if you're listening, if you could let them know in chat and see which side they want, and then we'll be good to go. Deuce Next, please tell the people what's going on with that microphone.
So I got this as a gag at Christmas, and some of you may have seen I've done a Twitter video where I was like fake using it, and I said I might use it, and I kind of threw it in our junk drawer. And when I went upstairs to try and grab some other things to try and use as a microphone, Hannah's like, "Oh, tiny mic," and I was like, "Yes, tiny mic time." We're in, baby. It's actually being used right now. So if the quality is subpar, blame whatever brand of tiny mic this is.
Like, it's actually pretty solid. Wherever we got you set, it's looking pretty good. This is so funny, but okay, everybody, we already told you about the format. We told you about some of our sponsors. I wanted to let everybody know the teams that are going to be playing tonight. We have Orange Juicers competing this evening, and they're going to be going up against Everyone Explode Now in the first game, which is going to be a roster made up of Can't Stop 'Em, Kirsten, Wither, Kersey, and Shimmy. We make up that roster, and then on the other game, we have GoGo Esports versus the Dream Eaters. That match is going to be happening right after the conclusion of this one, and then in match number 3 will be our winners match, who's going to come home with the $100 cash prize, and of course the invitation to play in the final week. It's going to be lit. I cannot wait. Deuce Next, what are you most excited for? Other than, of course, casting off of a tiny microphone.
Yeah, before it was just tonight, just the whole event. I must say, Tiny Mike is stealing the show, as expected, of course. But no, I'm excited just to be having Unite Mike's Mayhem again. I mean, week 1 completely delivered, right? The NA qualified team did not make it to the finals, which throws a lot of excitement into our loops here.
Sure.
So Orange Juicers, not only are they fighting for their pride here as the NA qualified team, I mean, a lot of these teams want to eliminate them, unsurprisingly. So yeah. I totally get it.
I mean, when you're at the top, everybody's aiming for you. I think that is true. Now we play everyone's favorite game of can I fit team names inside these boxes? The answer is always no. Team names have been trending larger, and I'm not sure I like that. Honestly, what's up with that, NA? Well, to be fair, it started with EU. Anyway, here we go. Orange Juicers versus Everyone Explode Now. Game number 1. Obviously, we're tied at 0-0. So for the bans, Mimikyu, Chandelure, and Leafeon. Final ban for Everyone Explode Now. Interesting to see the Saraledge banned away, Dupes next.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the Saraledge right now, but Blaziken is definitely a top choice, right? When it was allowed in game last week, it was dominant, and really none of the new buffed fire type Pokemon are banned, which means they are quickly selected. Kratos picking Charizard first. That Unite move, that cooldown, and it going through everything is such a huge boost for it.
It's crazy. I mean, it has some crazy interactions now. It works very similar to Urshifu's Ebon Fist Unite, and by that I mean it can ult Slowbro out of Slowbro ult, which is insane. However, Slowbro's ult, one of the few things that can grab Charizard mid-ult. So it is going to be a very fun, rock, paper, no scissors included in that matchup, kind of a match with the Unite moves.
Exactly. With Mimikyu out, I think that would be like the last point of that triangle, if you will. But it's banned, so no need to worry there. Rolling on Hoopa is going to be great for this team, to be quite honest. So I'm looking forward to that. Honestly, Everyone Explode Now, a lot of players that have been around the Unite scene for a bit, and I'm excited that they've put this squad together to compete. A lot of players I've played with, a lot of players I'm familiar with, so I'm excited to see them scrap a little bit.
Wither has been waiting for a cram meta like this since I think the inception of the game, and now that that Cramorant over the last couple of patches has really hit brand new heights. I think this player is going to be right alongside that. Interesting choice from a Chisel for the top path. It will be this Metagross. I've seen them picking it up more and more in the metagame right now. It has a decent amount of early game secure, and with a metagame that feels so reliant on brawling and a lot of melee Pokemon, Metagross can profit a lot off of those kind of matchups. So I think it makes sense why we see Machisel locking in the big brainy pseudo-legendary.
I agree. Real quick, this Absol, what's its target here, Zoinks? Because I'm having a difficulty identifying like a solid target for it. Obviously, maybe if it can collapse on Flareons, but even with the Mew Unite move, it makes it pretty evasive.
For sure.
Charizard as well is tough to pin down, especially now with its buffs. So what do you think the thought is with the Absol here? Just comfort?
Well, definitely a portion of comfort. I think a lot of it is just... more overall strategy. The right-hand side of Everyone Explodes Now's roster is very early game heavy, right? Cramorant, Slowbro, even Urshifu, as soon as you get that level 5 evolution, you can really throw hands. And one of Charizard's biggest weakness is it still, unfortunately, has to beat Charmeleon and Charmander. And those are rough days out there. So if you can try to slow down Kratos at all, even the Metang and Beldum, however Metang's got a few more moves they can throw into the mix, if you can slow that down, Absol, very, very good at shutting a game down early. Where it might fall off in the late game, the early game presence of Absol is really hard to contend with. So it's going to make Kratos have to play a lot safer, and potentially even Machisel or Roland.
Okay, that makes sense. Which means, get ahead, stay ahead, right? That's going to be the name of the game. Everyone Explode Now cannot let Orange Juicers find their footing, which is tough because Orange Juicers knows exactly what's going on, right? Everything you just described to us is something I'm sure OJ is privy to, and they're going to be doing whatever it takes to mitigate that. Gossifleur immediately going to go help out the Kubfu here. No surprise, as Rolling is going straight for that invade.
Of course, a Kubfu exists, so invades get even more popular now, which they already, I feel like, were so popular, at least in North America. I feel like every tournament you and I casted Tube Snacks is just perma invade all the time. But Kersey is on this Absol, like we mentioned before, is actually hanging out in the top path. So top path Absol, I mean... retro-wise, it had its day in the metagame, but it certainly wasn't very long. Kind of cool to see this option here again. I'm excited to see what moveset this Absol decides to build into.
Yeah, shades of Season 1, right?
Yeah.
Way back with the 18 KO Nudo and the MVB, all that good stuff. That's what everybody remembers now. And this, if they were trying to keep this Charmeleon on a leash, giving it a knockout, letting it score a bunch of points, and potentially almost getting another one, allowing the Crustle to evolve too. I mean, Orange Juices are finding a way here in the bottom path.
Yeah, they're looking really solid. I'm another moveset that I'm very curious on. After patches, you're always wondering, but a quick rotation thanks to that Hoopa. Show some early aggression. Crazy getting stunned, has to pop the full heal, but it's not enough.
Yeah, we're going straight in as the Water Bear. Tons of combos taking down the Charmeleon. That's a way to stop the fire from spreading right there. Getting a nice KO with the Water Bear. Something we haven't seen literally in a year, it feels like.
I saw some of people talking about it on Twitter. Every World Championships, we just gotta buff Water Bear. I think that's how it's going to work out. We cannot have a Worlds metagame without it, but it is extremely strong right now. I really like this moveset. It's always been good, but now that the numbers are there to back it up, honestly, it's fantastic to see this Pokemon in the meta again.
I agree. Absol up top by themselves here. You saw CSE, the Slowbro, peel to the middle for maybe a little bit of pseudo support. I'm not too sure they should have left home. It was definitely covered, in my opinion, between the Gossifleur, or excuse me, the Eldegoss and this Water Bear, who is now schmooving in the middle. Charizard's there. Charizard's evolved. Charizard's putting the fire down, and they're caught in between everybody. The ring is going to get them knocked out here as Eldegoss is stuck all by themselves. Christian going to peel up top as CSE just tries to give a little space downstairs.
Trying to protect, honestly, gaining that vision to see where the team was rotating to might be worth it at this point in time. Everyone Explode Now has had a kind of a slow start overall across the map. However, topside's been looking very, very good. We've had the Absol able to out-level the Metagross just barely, but still getting more experience, getting more KO, so the top side looking quite solid. However, a Hoopa rotation could shut that down early. It's a 3-on-3.
Well, Absol goes in, chunked, huge, goes right back out. Machisel's about half HP. Water Bear would like to seal that up, but they can't. It's actually KO'd the other way. Nice portal by the Hoopa to reset everybody. Matang does go down, but what a profitable exchange for them.
I love this Urshifu pick. It honestly might be my favorite part of the Everyone Explode Now draft. Urshifu, notorious for being able to hit below shields, Metagross, Crustle, and now even thanks to the Flare Blitz buff on Charizard. I said that 10 times fast. Hitting below shields is so important in this matchup. Urshifu is going to do some great work. You saw it might get traded out, but the ability to even knock out a Metang with that much shielding is something to write home about. So very impressive stuff already.
We've got what was a little 3v2, now it's a 2v1. Orange Juicers decide to just peel back, though, and make their presence seen upstairs. Everyone Explode rotating the hard way, and Charizard's there to cut them off. They're going straight into the mix. We got a nice little Phantom Force. There's the suplex from space, and quickly burned down as the Water Bear, boiled down, if you will. KO Streak of 2, Gossifleur. Gossifleur keeps saying Eldegoss, weak to fire, and they get melted as well. Hoopa gets credit for the Absol, and Orange Juicers are absolutely demolishing that goal zone. What a prime rotation, catching everyone Explodes now out.
How scary is Charizard now? Like, this is the new meta that we might be looking forward to. That Unite move is very tough to cancel. Obviously, it is going to work through almost every keyword in the game, and then chasing down to the ends of the earth. Big Solar Beam by Flareons, but immediately traded out.
Yeah, understandably so. Big Solar Beam here. Absol kind of getting cut down in the mix. We've got the rings unbound. We're going straight forward. I scratched my nose with Tiny Mike hand. That can't be good for the volume control here, as now we're just sieging this thing. CSE can't stop this team. Orange Juicers scoring on them. Reggie there, and there's going to be a huge overdunk here. I mean, 16 points is nothing to scoff at when you're looking at where these two teams are right now.
Wither avoiding the shutout with a pretty nice 38-point score in the bottom. So everyone Explode now maybe feeling a little bit better about their chances, but not great about the fact that they have no goal zones on the top half of their map. Reggie Alecki's just got a whole lot scarier.
Nice little X-Scissor by Zugrug to keep everybody off pad and maintain that goal lead. Now we have the Metagross Unite is trying to get a target, and immediately the Eldegoss is put in the Coliseum, and they get buried too. Absolute Unite pop might be for some value if they can actually follow up. Water Bar can't find their mark. Solar Beam comes through, and because of that, Metagross pins down too. Everybody is forced to scramble away. They reset through the portal. CSE's so low, they're sitting on pad. They hit their Amnesia. Solar Beam is through, but the Rock Tomb is there to space everybody out, and now the Rock Wall does their job. Another goal zone gone, and the lead stretches further.
And we're well out of the early game now. Into the mid and late game is where Orange Juicers comp really starts to shine. And if we're looking at a scoreline of 315 to 60, you would have thought the opposite to be true. Now, all of a sudden, Orange Juicers have hit top gear. This is terrifying. A Reggie in the basement being taken. I had mentioned before, the Reggie Aleckis for the rest of this match are so much scarier. Everyone Explode now is really going to be forced into trying to contend with them, or at the very least out-rotating, but that's a tough job against the Orange Juicers.
Nice little bait in. They're onto the Metagross here. We're trying to get some action. X-Scissor pins 3, and Mew pops their Unite. They do get the Metagross, which is good. The level lead is in the hands of EEN, and they're using that if they can. They need to get this Charizard. Another suplex from space. More fires are burning down the countryside like Trogdor, and now rings are unbound for Roland. Is there another KO streak of 2 for the big Kanto starter? This Charizard looks insane, brother.
Trogdor reference at United Mike's Mayhem, baby. You don't get that anywhere else, I promise. Kirsten going to try to make it away, but that Metagross with the easy shutdown. Charizard on the bottom side as well. The ability for Hoopa to just so courageously throw down those portals at any moment. They don't need to put safe portals. Charizard doesn't need an easy entry. They want to be up in the mix now. Compute and Crash not going to have enough targets to bring up the walls, and Urshifu doing its job. A decent Metagross counter, hitting below all those shields and ignoring a lot of the defenses.
Well, here's the thing, Zoinks. EEN has 3 level 12s. They're not that far off in terms of level. That Charizard wasn't actually close to them a few moments ago until that KO streak of 2. However, they haven't been able to leverage it. They're going to get this Reggie Alecki here, but if they stay too long, they're poised to lose another team fight.
Yeah, again, I always gotta favor the giant Pokemon on the other side. Metagross and Charizard are just so terrifying in their current state, but you're right, levels not there to back it up. Machisel actually notoriously only at level 12. Lise Kersey is also at that mark, seeing as they're sharing a role at the moment. Quick rotation back to the central area to clear as quickly as you can. A few Pokemon in need of their Unite moves. Metagross and Cramorant maybe the most in particular. There is one more Reggie left to spawn with 3 seconds remaining on their timer. Means it'll be around for about 20 seconds. Metagross, Charizard, and Hoopa gonna be quick work of that steal.
Yeah, Registeel is there. It looks like everyone Explode now is going to set up in the middle, maybe. I thought they were going to take a bottom path posture, but they are not. They're rotating to the top here, getting coalesced as a team. 5 seconds till Ray, Zoinks.
Here we go, 365 to 79. Obviously a gigantic lead for the Orange Juicers. We have a position to backcap potentially. Can't stop them, finds Zugrug, or Zugrug finds them. Depends on how you define it, but they take so much damage early, but Absol can't do enough.
Yeah, and they get hit by, what, 2 abilities, and their HP is eviscerated. Surf pops up Zugrug again, who is below half HP. Wither goes for a little bit of engagement, but they almost get blended up by the Metagross, able to make it back across the wall, fire a little air slash to let them know they're still alive. We've got the Water Bear hiding out. We're biding our time. Boosted Auto from long range is going to get CSE damage, but we are just waiting. Big Surf in the middle. Is this going to be the engage opportunity? It looks like it is. Nice portals put down. Metagross has an opportunity to reset. We've got the Cram Unite out. It's followed up by the Absol. They're looking for targets, but it's 3 down on Everyone Explodes now. They're the ones detonating themselves. So Orange Juicers just doing the job for them, making the orange team fill all their orange pips are the Orange Juicers, and now they're ripping Rayquaza. It's going to be theirs for free.
And there it is, folks. Slowbro Unite move getting yoinked out of it by the Charizard Super Seismic Slam. A slam from space, I think you called it. I mean, this Pokemon is absolutely meta. The Flamethrower, Flare, Blitz build, making it work. Everyone Explode now. Unfortunately, not able to find it in game number 1 with a very early heavy draft. They found their levels, but just not enough score pressure to really leverage any kind of positioning wins in that final fight.
I'll tell you what, this Absol looked absolutely abysmal. Couldn't find any opportunities to leverage any KOs. That put the Water Bear behind, right? They were doing a lot of work by themselves. I didn't really see Wither get to leverage any of their level opportunities that they had against some of the weaker Pokemon on the other side. And there was a real moment in this game, Zoinks, where everybody on Orange Juicers was like 9, 10, maybe 11, and Everyone Explodes had 3 level 11s and 2 level 9s. The 3 level 11s being the Urshifu, the Absol, and the Cramorant, and they did nothing with it. It seemed like they were walking into team fights and they were down 4 levels across the board. It was brutal.
Yeah, not a great look in game number 1, clearly in draft. However, in the totality of the match, it's going to be a 1-0 start for Orange Juicers. And what felt like a very dominant start to this series, Dupesex. It is going to be tough for Everyone Explode now to bounce back from that.
It is, but there's some hope, right? I think there's a much more keen understanding of how good Charizard is right now. 13-10 scoreline, like that's berserk. You know, one day in on the patch here. I'd probably put that on my ban list. I think that's pretty safe. I just wouldn't want to contend with it, especially if they pick Charizard and you immediately snap up Slowbro and it doesn't matter. Like, your Slowbro's drop at that point is literally to only hit Charizard because any other target is useless.
Yeah.
It, like we just saw, it was absolutely, it could have you know, it could have used the slow beam on a ham sandwich and it would have had the same value out there. So if you're going to let that through and you're going to force first pick Slowbro, you cannot use that slow beam on any other target but Charizard. And it has to be a team effort to isolate the Charizard. So it's not like, oh, I fired it towards Charizard and I hit the target next door, right? Like, it needs to be a surefire thing.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think if I'm putting myself in the shoes of Everyone Explode now, they were grabbing the Metagross because that was the only teamfight win they kind of had throughout that match, right? It was where they were able to grab Machisel in that Metagross state, take that win. They're like, okay, this worked. If we can get the Metagross, maybe everything else can work on from that, but they didn't have to deal with Kratos in that teamfight, so maybe some misinformation going on in the team comms. But yeah, I think when we go back into draft, we'll definitely be seeing very different team compositions. If Orange Juicers got the same thing, I think they're feeling just fine. I do think we're going to see some switch-ups from Everyone Explode now. We are going to be switching sides, by the way, so we're going to have Everyone Explode now in the first pick position when we go into the draft, and Orange Juicers will be responding. We're going to be jumping into game and into the draft in just a moment, but I did want to say, exclamation mark KFKF, if you want to get, I think it's 15%? Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Discount code 15%. On the Morchomp shirt, and this time I can model it. It came in.
Ooh.
I don't know.
You wearing pants today? A little higher, little higher, little higher. There we go. Looks good. It looks good, and it's incredibly comfortable. So
I don't know if you could see it or not.
Oh, we did. I didn't realize you couldn't hear me. I didn't see that you had your earbuds out. Looks great. Hopefully the fit is good. Hopefully it is comfortable because I love their product. So
yeah,
they support us, which is a great two-way street to be on.
Yeah, everything they make fits fantastic. That is like the main draw of Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat, why we love it. So no changes there. We're gonna be seeing it yet again. But okay, to start off this draft, we will be banning Charizard, folks. Orange Juicers will have to find a new central area Pokemon to work with, whereas Everyone Explode now is gonna have to find something other than the Slowbro in that tank position.
Gonna go with Mimikyu, which means like Leafeon, Blaziken can be let into the game. Ceruledge as well. That's a Pokemon that everyone explodes now. Chose last time. Orange Juicer's gonna lock in the Blaziken. Very respectable choice there. I mean, just the overheat is so tough to battle with, and if Blaziken gets ahead, it can really run through the game. And there's a 0% chance we lead with Blastoise, right?
Oh, yeah, there is. Perfect. Yeah, great call out. It will be the Ceruledge, so a Pokemon that was banned previously, going to be swapped over. A Pokemon that is boasting a ton of new buffs after this most recent patch. This Chandelure is a fire type, so of course it had to get some boons. And the HP restoration on this Pokemon is wild. Running the Razor Claw, Energy Amplifier, and the Curse Bangle. So going to throw in some anti-heal into the mix. I wonder if that will change depending on the support picks, especially because we have Mime Hoopa now. If there's something like the Clefable or Blissey, oftentimes we see the Bangle a bit more, but who knows? Those wound counters hurt pretty bad now, so we might see it. We might see the Bangle stay on.
Unsurprised to see Wither go back to the Cramorant. They'd like to have that big pop-off game. I mean, that's their favorite Pokemon to play, of course. CSE on Snorlax, I'm a big proponent of Snorlax. I think it's actually underrepresented. I think I actually said this last week as well. I think the Pokemon is incredibly solid. Now, and I think this is just going to be a braggadocious maneuver on Kratos' part if they do lock in Absol. They're just trying to rub EEN's nose in it, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're going to send, Kratos to the middle, Machizel with Buzzwole up top, and Flareon's going to get the pick of the litter here. Downstairs, though, Blissey is a decent look.
Yeah.
Decent look. They need something to isolate this Absol down, though. They cannot get gapped like this. You can't let it end like this.
Yeah, I'm curious. Obviously, they don't have the Slowbro with the Mimikyu answers for clear options. We're going to go with Blissey, and they're going to lock in the Talonflame. So, wanting a bit more burst damage, it looks like, between the Cramorant and the Ceruledge. Both have very solid damage numbers, but you might need a sweeper. We're going to bring the Talonflame to the front. Also a Pokemon that receives some buffs. Again, fire type. It was caught up in the sweep. And we are going to finish the draft with Delphox. Very interesting. Accessing a crowd control, mostly focused Pokemon. Has a ton of anti-heal. Into Blissey, I think Delphox does make a lot of sense. You run the Cursed Incense. Your Unite move has healing reduction as well. And of course, Fire Spin just got buffed. Slow them down even more.
Yeah, but it does generate a nice target for Shimmy to go after, which is very good. If the front line can be distracted enough to let Shimmy get on top of Flareons, I think that's a positive for everyone Explode now. So I'll be looking towards that.
Yeah.
However, it does look like Orange Juicers have built themselves a very good strategy to pretty much isolate Ceruledge, right? Kersey has a lot of walls and a lot of static contending with them up front to keep them from engaging on the targets they want.
It's true. Ceruledge might have gotten buffed in the area of like self-sustain. The HP generated off their basic auto attacks, or even Bitterblade, is so much better now if they're caught in a good spot. However, it's so hard to use those moves consistently when you're just getting perma-stunned. And Hoopa, Mime, Buzzwole, maybe even Delphox, depending on the moveset, it's going to be a very difficult world for there, even when you just want to use your Unite move, right? You're spam hitting that ZL button, but sometimes you are just trapped in a terrible situation in these lineups. So the work is cut out for Curiosity. It feels like 2 games in a row, but they're going to be going top path, this time armed with some spectral flaming swords.
And I hope Ceruledge can deliver here. They're going to need a nice game between themselves to balance the score sheet because Orange Juicers really looked solid in that game 1. Of course, Christian doing a great job. Christian doing a great job making sure that Roland can't come in and just be the thorn in their side that Roland often is with that Hoopa.
Yeah, good coverage to protect your central area, but then you kind of let Machizel in the front door at the same time. Good out-secure, though. Machizel not able to get that AO synergy, but the turnaround is there. Roland very good at pressing the A button.
Yeah, and what a combination it is to get that K-opener between Orange Juicers. I mean, Buzzwole Hoopa in the top path is something we've seen over and over and over again. even the Buzzwole kind of getting gutted does not slow down this lane at all. It certainly doesn't feel like it. They can exert some dominance. Now that Orange Juicers has Kratos in the flank here, stepping up to match 3v3, I think EEN is going to have a tough time. Absol is there. Everybody's caught in the mix, and they don't even want to engage with it, Zoinks.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best decision. You were just going to get knocked out. You're going to give up these scores anyway, and if you get knocked out, you're going to be giving up bigger scores. So I don't hate that transition at all. Blissey does get the evolution. Chimmy a little bit farther away on that Talonflame, but the chase is on for Orange Juicers.
Yeah, they really want this Blissey in a bad way, and of course Kratos is able to deliver on that knockout. Meanwhile, Machisel is throwing static right into the face of CSE. Nice damage back the other way, taking a nap on the job is CSE to try and get some of that HP back, and they're still within a striking distance. Struck down they were indeed. Able to get a cursory Machisel there, so not leaving without a prize, but EEN is already falling behind here.
Yeah, all the trades happened. Orange Juicers knew they had hung out too long, but Machisel dives on the, imaginary grenade or just Delphox in this way to try to make sure that Absol can make it out. Flareon takes a host of damage, and that means that the bird comp works well together to take all that central area experience, and finally, this Talonflame is online and ready to go.
Well, it needs to be. It's carrying that purple buff here. It's going to see if they can engage. They take to the skies, crash lane on 2, tons of damage ripped through, and immediately going for the score is Shimmy. That's called isolating and knocking down your target. Zoink's exactly what we were saying. You want the Delphox, you've got the Delphox Shimmy, and you got an Absol for some collat action as well, and now they're going to be able to get more points in this goal zone. This Talonflame might be the recipe.
Yeah, that was sick. A bunch of scores as well to earn that EXP. And now they're at level 9. They should have access to that Unite move. However, Zogrug's got hands. They're throwing it right back.
Yeah, just a Psychic Confuse Blast into walls, putting Talonflame right into their favorite place, which is up against a wall. Going straight for the Delphox again, though. Shimmy knows their target. Fire Blast is going to eviscerate them. Cooked chicken.
That CC on this composition is ridiculous. We are going in on the Fire Spin build, and the walls that Zogrug is putting... I almost said bruv. The walls that Zogrug are putting up are phenomenal already. Good stop on the Cramorant, and the Absol will take it away with no real contest other than the Snorlax.
Yeah, putting up the wall just to, again, buy time, right? Falling on that proverbial grenade, as you mentioned. CSE was doing the exact same thing here. Now, Orange Juicers are dictating the pace again. They're doing a little bit better on levels. We'll see where they go. They decide to maybe pressure the middle, cut through the central area, and see if they can make this Regieleki hit. Nice heavy slam, wall isolation. We'll see if they can convert on something. Portal is down, Flame Sweep is through, but they don't actually pin that target. CSE is still scrapping, but they get buckled quickly. Buzzwole unite into the back line. Can they get a KO? They do. We've got the Regieleki hitting, but we're going for bodies. Mark them down for another one as they can get tons of points here. We're just going to settle for a 25 overdunk, but it's 250 to 96. EEN faring better, but they're still up against it.
Yeah, 2 for 2 games in Orange Juicers, breaking every goal zone in that top half. Machisel almost at level 11 on this Buzzwole already. Flame Sweep looked nice. It was able to push that Regieleki away from that goal zone, but it was just not quite enough. Wither with a Desperation Unite move, and Zogrug with a brilliant play utilizes the Buddy Barrier to save their teammate on the Absol and jump in front and tank all that damage from the Cram.
Unfortunately, Flareon still found themselves somewhere in the range of Wither. Bliss assistance from long range. They're going to be able to convert to some KOs. There's 2 for Wither. They want some more. They've got everybody low on HP. They dive right through. Air Slash comes through. They got a pin down rolling. The Egg Bomb can't stop them from resetting, and Zogrug gets let off the hook. Zoinks, what an opportunity that just fell through their fingers.
Oh, just so close as well. The Super Swole Slam is going to hit Wither with a nice dive across the wall to get out of the way, and Kirsey is on the run. Of course, that weak armor helping them a little bit there, and Wither's reign of terror in the enemy central area will finally end. So close to a couple more KOs, but they did still get some value, and we always say it, when you're playing from behind, aggressive plays like that are always going to be more beneficial to the aggressor. You give less, you take more. I like that push by the Cramorant.
Flame Sweep, unsurprisingly, straight into a wall as they're trying to rip Roland down after they pop their Unite move here, and they are successful. Nobody takes the portal through. A little bit of a distraction maneuver so the Orange Juicers can take the top Reggie uncontested, and that's going to fly all the way downtown, Zoinks. And it was taken before the 4-minute mark, which means they're going to be another Regieleki before Ray.
Absolutely. Now, at least they can contend with this Regieleki with a Reggie buff of their own, a Reggie Rock for a little bit of defense, but now that they have to have all hands on deck to block the Regieleki. There's no one at home defending this tier 1, and that means Orange Juicers can get on the scoring front. Potential of a 45-point overdunk that is massive right now.
Absolutely gargantuan. I mean, making their lead at about whatever that is, 170 points here between these two teams, and they are doing it right now. Orange Juicers now are kind of in a coast mode, right? They've put cruise control on. They just want to make sure they don't hit any guardrails on their way to their destination, which is a Game 2 win and our grand finals here in Unite Mike's Mayhem.
Yeah, levels definitely not in favor of everyone explode now at all, at least not in the way they were in that game number 1. Points-wise, they are doing a little bit better now. They might be not as forced into such a terrifying position as they were in the previous game. However, like you mentioned, that Regieleki is yet to spawn on that top side before the final stretch, which really is going to be so difficult for this Everyone Explode Now team to really contend with.
They need to get those yellow dots off the side of the map for everyone to explode now, right? They're kind of sitting in the middle waiting to see where Orange Juicers are. They catch the easy reset. Now the KOs are going to start flooding in if they can isolate a target. Actually, the Buzzwole and Chisel getting buckled pretty quickly, and so does Flareon. Shimmy in the back line, able to do some work. And finally, the Cerulege Kersey's coming to life here, getting a KO for themselves. Okay, they feel the flow coming back. They forced Orange Juicers out of cruise control, and now they need to keep pressing this small advantage they just picked up.
I like Talonflame's play there. Kersey was basically playing the flying ward into the enemy central area. Gets vision of all of them, allows Can't Stop them to get a little bit of score into that tier 2. Nothing really that you're super pumped about, but still a few more points. Wither going to actually do a fantastic job of 47 at the bottom path. Regieleki about half HP right now.
Yeah, but Christian gets isolated and buckled, and rightfully so. They kind of stepped into the lion's den there and feasted themselves up. CSE getting some vision, but they've sussed them out now, and CSE's by themselves. So if they can collapse on them with a little bit of Wither support, this would be a huge pickup for Orange Juicers. That fire spin going to go right there, sitting right in it with the block is Snorlax. Rayquaza has hit the map. What are the Juicers going to do? They're starting to bait them in a little bit. Wither's trying to find an opportunity. Absol going for the 50 banger, which is going to be a hundo burger. In the back area, they get that points in very quickly. We're flying into the back line. We can't quite land on Flareon's. Flareon takes half HP. They pop their fanciful fireworks, and Blissey gets a KO on the Mime. And now there's 2 players down for the Juicers. Everyone Explode now is actually turning the script on them. Kratos tries to go in there, blocked out there, caught by the Snorlax Unite as well. We're using the Absol, and it's still taken out by the Juicers. Are you kidding me? What just happened? Victory snatched out of the hands of Everyone Explode by Kratos as they get tons of KOs.
That is so criminal. You can't write up a better engage between a Snorlax and a Cramorant to a team fight. CSC and Wither put on a perfect show of how you could start a fight. Delphox tries to unite, moves a little off the mark, and everybody else takes that fight. But Absol, with the heroic sweeping in moment, is able to take that Rayquaza, but Chisel, of course, targeting down some good secure options on the other side with their own crowd control abilities. And, well, that tees up OJ for a good swing in for a victory lap.
That was such a good series of plays by Kratos, identifying what they do. Perfect Unite move to get them right into the center here so they could close the door on it. And of course, you got to give credit to Machisel. They got a KO streak of 2 in that fray as they were isolating down unique targets. You mentioned anything that had the secure potential. That Buzzwole was just standing in their way with that big beefy chest of it, and it absolutely delivered. Orange Juicers 2-0, baby.
Orange Juicers looking very, very good. Things got a little hairy, obviously. That team fight was tough without their central area player who was going for the back cap at the moment. Things go a little awry, but in the end, it will be Orange Juicers hanging on and winning the first series of Week 2 in a 2-0 fashion.
Well played. Well played by Orange Juicers. Well played by Everyone Explode now. They found some opportunities, specifically in the end of that second game there with about under, 4 minutes, we'll say. I mean, took a convincing team fight. We saw signs of life out of Wither. Couldn't quite get that, 4-pack that they were looking for, right, when Zugrug and Roland were on the scramble. If they get those 2 KOs, I think that's a momentum shift that really, really matters here.
Yeah, it was cool to see. Kersey's Talonflame looked really, really solid. It was one of my favorite things. I think somehow our observers have a bug where they can't click the battle data screen, which is hilarious. But okay, it's back. That's really funny. But anyway, their Talonflame looked really, really solid. I thought it was a big bounce back from Chimmy specifically. Kersey on the Sailage also looked really, really good. But hey, Wither's Cramorant still remains a fantastic part of any team composition that is able to house it, because Wither is so good on this Pokemon.
Yeah, you saw how much movement and how much mobility that Cramorant has, and when pivoting around the corners of walls, Wither was able to sustain a lot longer in fights than you'd think a Cramorant could. Just able to dive perfectly using just the right clips to get enough range out, was using the air slash well, again, to punish any follow-ups for the people that had to take the long way around, right, and couldn't dive around those walls. So really shows why Cramorant is kind of at the top of the list and a prime selection for some of these teams.
Yeah, despite the buffs, right? Unite move does not hit as hard, or sorry, nerfs rather. The Unite move does not hit as hard, but still looking impressive. But, I mean, honestly, stealing the show in that matchup had to be the Orange Juicers. Phenomenal play. I love the Buzzwole out of Machisel. Really put on a great showing. And, of course, the if you can't win with it, I get to Kratos Absol play was pretty electric. I'm excited to watch more Orange Juicers later on in the evening. They'll be awaiting the winner of our next matchup between GoGo Esports and the Dream Eaters, which will be fantastic. I can't wait. This is the matchup I've been really waiting for tonight. It's going to be really fun to watch. But one more match and then one more finals match tonight on the stream. We'll see you all then. Going to jump to a back soon screen. Be right back with more Unite Mike's Mayhem.